Hey, this is Bea with Parole Amate, buttoning up my shirt. We are with the letter L at virtual ICC today, and I asked my child which favorite word he has in Italian with the letter L, and he said la luna, the moon, which is a very present word. It means the luminous one, even in the days of the week, right? Lunedì, lune dies means day of the moon, Monday. And then there are a lot of expressions about avere la luna, svegliarsi con la luna storta, so to have the moon, to wake up with the moon upside down, both meaning to be in a bad mood, and then to be lunatico or lunatica, meaning not lunatic in the sense of mad, but rather moody. And these seem to all be connected to the 20 days cycle of the moon, like the menstrual cycle. There are slightly more otherworldly expressions like vivere nel mondo della luna, to live in the world of the moon, means not quite based in reality, to live a little bit in fantasy. And this one I loved and sort of rediscovered doing this research, essere ancora nel mondo della luna, meaning to still be unborn, to still be in the world of the moon. And regarding newborns, my aunt, one of my aunts, would claim that she's always guessed the gender, or rather the sex of the unborn child, from friends and family. And anytime she's been wrong, it's because, and it was based on how full or not the moon was upon time of conception. So the times when she's actually been wrong, she would say, no, they gave me the wrong phase of the moon when they conceived. So this is a tribute to Zialda. The moon has also a more pragmatic connotation, in that expression sbarcare il lunario, which is essentially to be able to barely get to the end of the month, money-wise. And it is, of course, such subject of poetry, not just in Italian tradition, but broadly, I think everywhere. I know, for example, of the Persian poet Rumi from the 13th century, whose moon poetry is gorgeous, and Leopardi in Italy in the 19th century. But it is this reference to the moon, La Luna e Falò, this novel written by Cesare Pavese in 1949, actually shortly before he died. He killed himself. So La Luna e Falò, the moon and the bonfires. And it's all about the journey of a migrant who starts from a small area, agricultural area in Piedmont in northern Italy, and then goes to America and then returns. And what is the effect of nature in both places on his soul? Of course, the bonfires in his memory of a child are agricultural and functional, and then when he comes back, there is a sort of shadier side to them. They're intentional and complex that way, and resonant with right now. There is this quote in Goethe, the German poet, that's about, you don't need to travel the whole world to see that the sky is blue everywhere. And it resonates a lot with the whole of this book, which really I've been carrying around since I was quite a teenager. And it's funny how much my life is now resembling some of this in some way, the migration part anyway. And so the protagonist says, the town next to the one where I was born, which was slightly bigger, I thought it was the whole world for so long. So, and then he says, adesso che il mondo l'ho visto davvero e so che è fatto di tanti piccoli paesi, non so se da ragazzo mi sbagliavo poi di molto. Now that I've really seen the world, and I know that it's made of a lot of small little towns, I'm not sure that when I was young, I was that wrong. And yes, and then if a final and similar thing he experiences about the natural elements is in Oakland, California, actually, where in a moment of love or almost love with this woman, Nora, he says, he looks up at the sky and he says, quelle stelle non erano mie. Those stars were not mine. And we can fantasize a lot about the natural elements connecting us anywhere, But I think I understand that feeling. And sometimes when I step on this porch here in San Diego and I look at the moon framed by the eucalyptus trees, which are not as exotic as the cacti, to make me curious and not familiar. They just seem this strange implant, but also highly adaptable. But anyway, there's something that happens where where there is a disconnect or a feeling of the unfamiliar. Yeah, so I think I'll leave it at that and look forward to the M next week. Bye, everybody.